Hi guys, how are you all doing? This is the Tennis World with the Tennis Expert. I am your tennis expert. So let's preview the US Open Final 2023, right guys? I'd just like to give a warm welcome to my viewers all around the world, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. You have the Tennis World with the Tennis Expert, and you have your US Open Final preview 2023, right? So let's get into the video, shall we? Just 1 second, sorry about that. So yeah, let's get into the video. Tennis World, I'm your tennis expert. US Open Final Preview 2023, Medvedev Djokovic. Firstly, let's take a quick look at the quarterfinals. Semifinals. Djokovic played against I've lost the guy's name now. There is, sorry about that. Bernd Shelton was his name. I'm new to this guy, new on the scene, but just a typical power guy, big hitter. He relies on his serve too much. Djokovic has the best return ever. He gets the ball back deep, forces him into rallies, and he can't rally with Djokovic. So either Djokovic is moving him around, out rallying him, exposing his lack of movement, or he doesn't want to be out rallied, so he goes for a lot of power near the lines to get past Djokovic's defense and misses. Djokovic takes away the serve, 3 points, the serve plus forehand, gets a deep return off a great serve. He's not used to that, not used to getting nothing out of his serve, having to get into a rally, and then he's going to lose the rally with Djokovic either being moved around or by going for too much power near the line to get past Djokovic and making errors. So that's the typical Djokovic against these tall, big hitter power guys. It never works. They go for the line, they miss. It didn't work today. Straight sets. Djokovic just a good, solid 7 out of 10. The guy was off. Djokovic gets a win, but he stepped it up a bit at the end of the third set. Shelton, that's how you say his name. But Djokovic, when he did that, Djokovic's game dropped off by just enough at the end for Djokovic to capture this, win this match in straight sets. The second one, I predicted Alcaraz, and I said Alcaraz is going to win this. This is his best court, slow court. He had to again go through the best two players in the world outside of him in Medvedev and Djokovic. Medvedev, what he did in this matchup, he stepped it up. Firstly, the drop shots, Medvedev was ready for them. He was running in, he was getting to the ball in time. Unless Alcaraz made the drop shot perfect, Medvedev was all over it. Serve and volley, Medvedev was hitting so many passing shots and so many balls to Alcaraz's feet, so he took away that game. And the only game left for Alcaraz was really to overpower him in the rallies with the forehand. But to stop that, Medvedev went for more power on his shots, rushed Alcaraz on his forehand. He was arriving late, had enough power to get through the court and get through Alcaraz's defense and stop Alcaraz dictating the rallies. So when he went back, that's what Medvedev did. Passing shot and getting to Alcaraz's feet at the net. When he just hits a drop shot from the back, he was already ready unless it was perfect and just more aggressive in the baseline rallies. But for Alcaraz, he was off. He was going for so much power near the line and making errors to get rather than at Wimbledon when he beat Djokovic and Medvedev. He said, I've got more power, but I'm going to overpower you and control the rally. So if it takes 4, 5, 6, 7 shots to get past your defense, I'll wait, but I know in the long run I have enough power to get through you. But I have power and patience. By this time, I felt like Alcaraz had to win in 1 or 2 shots, went for too much power near the line, made too many errors. And the rest of the time, Medvedev was controlling the rallies, being more aggressive, rushing him on his forehand. His forehand was a bit off, which is a big part of his game. And then the serve volley didn't work because of the passing shots and Medvedev getting his feet. And the drop shots, Medvedev was like, unless it's perfect, he was all over it, which at least half the time he got there. So Medvedev was too good and Alcaraz going for too much power, making too many errors. The four hands off, so 4 sets to Medvedev. So now we're left with a Novak Djokovic, Daniel Medvedev, US Open Final 2023. This will be a rematch of 2 years ago when Medvedev beat him in straight sets. Also, their last match at any tournament was at Dubai, and I believe, if my memory is right, it was 6-4, 6-4. So Medvedev's won their last match they ever played on any tournament, Dubai this year, and the last match at the US Open, right? So the last match on this court at the US Open, Medvedev's got him in straight sets, and the last match on any tournament was February this year, Dubai. He also won straight sets, right? I think the thing is they just match each other. They both have great return of serve. They both are so fast and hard to get past and have great defense, and they both don't make any errors. So, but they also both don't have a big, powerful shot like a Nadal forehand and Alcaraz forehand, or Wawrinka power to get through a defender that's this great. So then the points come in. Great defense on both sides. Neither have that big shot to get through great defense, and neither of them are making unforced errors and giving 3 points. So you're not getting it from a 3 point. It's hard to get past the opponent who's a great defender, and neither of you are going to have a big shot to get past them. So what ends up happening is grinding rallies are just going forever. Djokovic is the older guy. He doesn't usually want to get involved in that. So then he ends up wanting to have to shorten the point and go for more power near the lines, come into the net, try drop shots, because if not, the rallies are just going to go on and on for too long, and it's going to suit the younger guy. And they'll be at an equal level. They'll be going back and forth, right? And the points will just be going on forever. They'll both match each other, and either will be better. But then physically, that's going to be too much of a long match, too many long rallies, too much of a disadvantage for the older player Djokovic. So then he ends up having to take the risk and without that big weapon, go for more power near the lines, come to the net, shorten points, and then have a risk of errors. So in the end, then Medvedev has a chance to do what Djokovic does to everyone else. Don't miss, run everything down, and have your opponent go for too much power and make errors. But because Djokovic is the older guy, can't be in the rallies that long, he's the one who has to go for it. And like when they met at the US Open, he made errors, right? But there are sometimes Djokovic attacks with patience, where he says, I've got a bit more power on you on the rally shot. I'll be in the rally, I'll stand in the middle, I'll move you around, I'll be the one controlling the rallies, then come into the net to finish, so attacking in more of a safe way. In those matches, Djokovic tends to win. The ones where Djokovic just says, I can't be in these rallies, it's too tiring, I have to go for the line just to get past you, shorten the point, makes errors. But that's also based on the past. Basically, Medvedev is mirroring Djokovic in every area. Like I said, great rallying, not missing, great speed, great defense, and all of that, right? But Djokovic is a bit better on the return serve than Medvedev, even though they're both great. Attacking the second serve return, Djokovic is a bit better. But Medvedev's a bit better on the serve than Djokovic, so then that evens the serve return out. Then in the rallies, they're equal. But Djokovic has one edge and sometimes puts him over the edge. They both match each other power on the backhand. Djokovic has a bit more power on the forehand than Medvedev, so he ends up being able to control a bit more of the rallies. So just they're matching each other, but he's just got a slight more power on the rally shots due to the forehand mostly, right? That's the one advantage where he can maybe control rallies, be patient, and finish at the net. They're doing everything Medvedev's doing, but just a bit more power, again controlling the rallies. And that's his path to victory. The problem is that one advantage for Djokovic is now gone because we saw against Alcaraz, Medvedev went for way more power and way more power in the forehand, and even matched Alcaraz at times and overpowered Alcaraz. So for sure, he's now going to match Djokovic with the power. If anything, he might have more power than Djokovic, and he might be the one being able to control the rallies a bit more. So like I said before, we had the matching up pretty perfectly, but Djokovic just slightly more power on the rally shots. So they're very close, but Djokovic just winning close matches, being that slight bit better with a bit more power. But that bit more power that he has is now gone because Medvedev has also more power now. And we saw what he did with Alcaraz. So Medvedev can now match him on the power or be a bit better. So if anything, there's no advantage now, or Medvedev might have more power than him. And that's a big change to this match, what I see, right? And then aside from that, they're equal. And then the serve return, Djokovic has a better return, Medvedev has a better serve. Rallying's the same, but Djokovic had a bit more power on his rally shot. They were so close, it was so hard, so tiring, but Djokovic is that bit better. But now Medvedev can match him on that power or be a bit better. And he could even rush Alcaraz, who has way more power than Djokovic. So that new part of the game, Medvedev having more power on the forehand, means Djokovic doesn't have any advantage, and if anything, Medvedev might overpower him. In 2021, when Medvedev beat him in straight sets, Medvedev didn't have that, but Djokovic still couldn't get past his defense. If anything, the court's going to be slower, it's going to be hard for him to get past his defense. Then for Djokovic in that match is he was going to win all 4 Grand Slams in the year, had so much pressure, was so mental. Won't have that, that'll suit Djokovic. Also, it was a long, tiring year. He had a 5th set against Zverev in the semi-finals. This time, he's had an easy semi-final. He's going to be much more fresh, so Djokovic can be better too. But again, the court's slower, Medvedev's better. That's that advantage of having a bit more power on his rally shots than Medvedev. Medvedev's created more power, so that's now gone. I'll say Medvedev in 4 or 5 sets. And I think, like I said, he'll be able to be just as good as last time they played at the US Open, if not better. Which, if Djokovic was a bit more tired, or was going for all 4 Grand Slams, it would be straight sets again. But because Djokovic is also going to be better because he won't have those factors, it's going to be a close match, 4 or 5 sets. Again, they mirror each other in all the areas. The rallying, they're not missing the defense. I think the difference is that Djokovic's advantage, having a bit more power on the rally shot, is taken away by Medvedev being able to match him now on both the forehand and the backhand for power. And then in the end, it just comes down to they're equal in everything. Long grinding rallies. Djokovic is the one that can't be in 5 hours of rallies, and he's the one who has to shorten the points and take the risks and go for the line. And it's very hard for him to get, without a huge weapon like a Nadal Alcaraz forehand, to get past Medvedev's defense. So he ends up having to make too many errors to get past Medvedev with power on the line. And when he comes into the net, Medvedev passes him. If he can pass Alcaraz and get it to Alcaraz's feet, he can definitely do it to Djokovic because Alcaraz is a way better volleyer. So when Djokovic comes into the net, it's not going to work. If Alcaraz's drop shots didn't work against Medvedev because he's too fast, when Djokovic does drop shots, they're not going to be as good. That's not going to work. And then again, it's just going to be long, grinding rallies. And because Djokovic is the older guy, he's not going to want to do that. He's going to want to shorten points. And then without that big weapon to get through this slow court and through Medvedev, he goes for too much power near the lines, makes errors, and then the equal battle, that just puts Medvedev ahead. Along with his improved forehand, he's going to be able to match Djokovic or be a bit better than Djokovic. And then when they've been so close before, that could be a deciding factor to put Medvedev a bit ahead. And then the fact that Djokovic is going to be the one who's not going to want to rally for 5 or 6 hours. So he's going to have to take the risk and he's going to make a few more errors than Medvedev. That and Medvedev having more power on the forehand is going to It's a very close match, but just a few more errors by Djokovic having to attack more and take risks and go for the line, and Medvedev actually matching or being better on the power puts Medvedev slightly ahead, and he wins this in 4 or 5 sets. Very, very close. But Daniil Medvedev will be your 2023 US Open champion. Now, like I said, when I say 4 or 5, it's so close, but it could be 5, could be 4, depending on a few important points, wet cords, just a few important points. But yeah, 4 or 5, very close, but the forehand and Medvedev being younger and Djokovic having to shorten the point, take risks, trying to get past Medvedev, making the error. That just gets Medvedev over the line, 4 or 5. But yeah, Daniil Medvedev's your 2023 US Open champion. Subscribe, bell notification, thumbs up. Have a great day, night, wherever you are in the world. And thanks for watching. It might take me about 3 to 5 days to review this final, but just wait for me. I'll do it. I'll be traveling. But just wait for my review, right? And be back 3 or 5 days from now, 6 at the most. Subscribe, bell notification, thumbs up. Have a great day. Thanks for being with me. And let's see if I'm right. Will Medvedev take this in 4 or 5? But that's my prediction. Subscribe, bell notification, thumbs up. My next video, 3 to 5 days from now, maybe 6 at the most, review of the US Open final match. Thanks for being with me, and bye for now. Thanks for being with me. Subscribe and be back for my next video. And thanks for watching. Bye for now, guys.